Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Speedrun Association channel for some more Super Mario 64 70-star League action. This time we're starting our day with Dwhatever versus Counterlogic Gaming's Cheese. Two runners that need really no introduction. Dwhatever, the current record holder with a 47.08. Cheese, known and loved for his 120-star runs, former 70 record holder with a mid-47. In this matchup, it's one of the few where you would honestly have to say that Cheese might be a little bit of an underdog player, but with both of these players as high of a level as they've reached, they also have like a tad of inconsistency that has plagued them. We've seen Dwhatever pull off some amazing things recently, and I think it would definitely be wise to put him as the favorite going into this, but Cheese also just has pulled off amazing things so many times before. This type of matchup, it really needs no introduction. This is just going to be a treat. So I'm as excited to see this as anyone else watching. And this is a live one. We got the countdown in the back, and we'll have the resync in just a moment. Thanks so much for the sub, TGC, 7-month subscription. Also, hello, HTM. And we got both runners actually using face cam. I can never get over how strangely shaped Dwhatever's water bottles always are. I've been told that it's a common thing in like numerous European countries. They've said it's for like ergonomics, but I'm not quite sure I buy that. I don't know. It just doesn't look super ergonomic to me, but maybe if I ever was able to hold one in person, I would understand it more. Let's go ahead and see Lakitu Skip coming out though. All right. Already a bit of a difference in approach. She's going with a more traditional setup that gives a bit of a better camera angle. Dwhatever with just an optimal diving setup. The camera angle a little bit more off skewed and so a little bit harder to align, but both of them getting through fine. Dwhatever forging just a very mild lead, about a 1/10 of a second or so. Let's go ahead and see. Both starting with bomb clip. If anyone was going to try to start a race with island hop, it would probably be one of these two guys right here, but at the same time, with the nerves in a huge matchup like this, you wouldn't really want to try to pull out a trick like that that could potentially lose a ton of time right on the first star. But Dwhatever saving even more time now with backflip bomb clip. And it looked like Cheese even got medium bomb on that, so losing a little bit more time, but still like really, really close together, moving on into the slide portion of the run. Get your guesses out in chat. I think both 12.6 is a reasonable guess. Honestly, though, I'm going to go that extra mile and say D's going to manage to get a 12.5, while Cheese will be sticking clean on a 12.6. Vanya 42nd, thanks so much for the sub as well. 15 months, jeez. I see someone just throwing out a 12.5, a 12.6, a 12.7. Steve with the 11.2 guess. Pretty reasonable, honestly. We've seen that plenty of times. And D finishing with a 12.5 and Cheese with a 12.6. Okay, well, for once the runner's following the script, so we are able to show you the rest of this run in its entirety. We don't have to splice in some fake ending. This is actually what's happening because the runners have agreed to follow the script, even down to the slide times. The task is actually 12.3 with this strat. 12.4 is technically possible, like, for a human RTA. I believe it may have been achieved, like, once. 12.5 is typically the max of what you're going to see, though. So, Dwhatever forging a few seconds going on into Womps. That is a difference that can easily be erased by any star in this stage, though. Owless losing like 8 seconds for a missed attempt. Cannonless at least 6. And it looks like both our runners going to go with Cannonless first, going with the full setup on both sides. And Dwhatever does get it to work, and Cheese as well. Cannonless not going to be a factor in any sort of time save or loss. Rothanos, in this season, it's actually determined by win-loss record rather than a straight point total. The points are just used for tiebreaker situations. Okay, so Dwhatever and Cheese now headed on up for Owless. This trick saves about 4 seconds over its Owlful counterpart, but both players are going to get it this time. No misses here. Missing it, like I said, does lose like 8 seconds, so we're better off just grabbing the Owl. And we've seen players like even Punke having major issues with Owless in big matchups like this. So now the next logical step is going to be 100 coin. And we're going to be likely seeing both players. So Dwhatever pretty well committing. Yeah. So this is going to be the pro cycle of 100 coin. It's pretty well the most advanced thing you're going to see RTA, aside from a couple of runners trying to do some more advanced cycle I haven't seen much about just yet. So with this, they're going to be trying to hit the moving wood platform at a certain point. Dwhatever should be hitting it just fine, and Cheese as well. Oh, but D actually taking a big fall instead. She's going to continue on the cycle normally, but D is going to be hemorrhaging major time due to this. He's going to... It's kind of an awkward point to try to back it up. Okay, so he's just going to do kind of a variation of... And the blue falls off the ledge. So he's going to have to go all the way around to this other piranha plant and wait around. Like, this is easily, like, at least 10 seconds or so, just to 1 star. The 100 coin star does tend to be the most brutal when you end up making mistakes. And he pretty well had the cycle. You can't really say he should have gone for a lesser cycle, like full cycle, because that same mistake probably would have happened in that same area. So... it's an unfortunate mistake that's going to set Dwhatever back big time, but it certainly is not over yet. We've seen people... I mean, we've seen Punkay straight up take a death at the end of this stage before. Like, on the end of 100 coin, losing easily a minute, and he caught up, I think, before the end of lobby in that same race. So, anything can easily happen with a game like this, and when the stakes are this high. All right. Dwhatever with a nice wild blue as well. She's going to be fighting the big Womp King on the top. And Dwhatever going to be just behind. Nice fence clip movement there from Cheese. When you're approaching the summit like this, pretty much the most advanced form of movement that you'll see is actually diving like onto the top of the fence. And the very top of the fence actually counts as ground. And with the speed that you have, Mario hits it and then falls right back off immediately. But it cancels your diving state and allows you to do a jump on the stairs without having to do any kind of rollout. So you're able to get a very, very quick double jump. And as you saw Cheese manage to do, you're able to get a triple jump out of it with a lot of speed going up that slope to get up the summit really, really quickly. But you have to be really precise with where exactly you're diving because, like I said, that portion of the fence that counts as ground like that is fairly narrow. So it's easy to pass it right over. She's hitting that again right here for another triple jump, but missing the next jump there. So what happened there? When you slide down a slope, Mario needs 4... Cheese with the backup! Oh, man. That's one way to back up an issue like that. This is... okay. Go Cheese. The double jump kick is a pretty wild strat to be pulling out, and especially as a backup like that. That platform, oddly enough, like the cycle doesn't really start until you actually make your way all the way up there. So, more than likely though, with the time he lost, it was just he hit it on like a late cycle effectively. So thanks for all the kind words in chat. Geez, I think he's gonna go with a 12-7 this time. Dwhatever with a 12-6 this time. Can't quite match perfection. Okay, 12-8 from Cheese. But to finish up talking about the situation with Cheese, why he slid down that slope, Mario needs at least 4 frames sliding down a slope like that before he can actually jump. So, like, Cheese just simply mistimed it. It's very, very easy to do. It's easy to time something like right when you start sliding down, for instance. You're able to just react and be like, oh, okay, I hit A now. And you're able to hit A within a few frames. But trying to time something with that delay will mess almost anyone up. Speaking of things that will mess people up, the wing cap stage, flying is a very easy thing to do imprecisely. Cheese with some nice arcs, just very, very well-trained practice. And then, unfortunately, bonking on the switch. Dwhatever also with some nice flying. Cheese, okay, Cheese at least with the stylish side flip back up there, losing no more time than he absolutely had to, but the button just not wanting to be pressed. And the hitbox on the button can be a little bit weird. It has to be admitted. Neither of these runners ended up going for there's a rollout from the sky that you can do on the button that requires a very, very steady hand and a good mastery of the flying controls. And speaking of mastery, Dark World, a good demonstration very early on. It's just a rapid fire minute-long obstacle course. And we'll see if these runners are able to hit Shigeru's cycle, the pretty common standard cycle you want to hit on the moving platforms on the end. Cheese setting up a nice pace for it, and D as well. Now let's watch this elevator. Okay, D actually, D trying for the underside elevator movement, ends up missing it. Not quite as bad as it could have been, but he's going to be on very desperate pace for Shig. Cheese completely fine though, plenty of time as that block is receding. And so D tries to snag the coin, barely unable to. Nice back, almost nice backup. The coin just barely out of reach. Having to wait, I think that was like 2 full cycles, so taking a late cycle over Cheese's actual Shig. But no disrespect on D, though. Like, managing to not die in a situation like that where you're having to navigate those moving platforms in unfamiliar territory, like that's impressive. Backing it up like he did without any kind of death shenanigans, that's impressive. Cheese getting bopped around by Bowser a little bit and tries to go for a half spin for some reason, but okay. Ends up getting the backup throw nicely. And looks like something happened with D's controller, not able to skip the text box immediately, but getting the fight started within a few seconds. All right, so now Cheese is going to be heading over to BOB and Dwhatever just behind him. Not too much to say. A nice Bowser exit time from both players. A few bobbles here and there, but that's lobby for you. You can't really ask for a perfect lobby every time. And so now Sky Jump, a fairly easy star, but when you mess it up, it can result in some pretty significant time loss. You just navigate down the slope, and then nice triple. She's actually using kind of a special cam there that gives him a little more visibility for the triple. Most players will use the cam that I think we'll be seeing from Dwhatever. Yeah. So with this cam, you don't get quite as good of visibility on like the stone platform, but honestly, you're able to feel it out with your stick very, very easily. Like you get to a point where you're able to tell after your 5-6 jumps, like where exactly you need to go up on the slope that you're jumping up. And then like once you slide down and set your angle on the slide down, it becomes a matter of repetition until like you feel out where exactly you need to hold on the stick. She's entering CCM. And starting off with wall kicks will work. Does a little bit of a crawling action for us. But against the rest of the strat, no problem. Dwhatever, same star, different cam. And near identical execution. Able to get that rollout right onto the ice bridge. Really, really clean. So now she's committing to the CCM 18 route. I highly doubt Dwhatever will be doing the same. I really think we're seeing a CCM 17 out of him. Yeah, and confirming that now since he's starting his 100 coin. And she's with the nice pro moonwalk there. And so it's going to look like Dwhatever is way ahead leaving the stage, but he is going to have one less star. The routes that these two players are doing will converge in Shifting Sandland in a couple minutes in the basement. So it'll look weird for a little bit, but it'll fix itself in just a moment. She's going ahead and doing the Penguin Star. And someone told me recently, and I think they also confirmed it while I was talking with them, that you actually don't have to do this star to spawn the Penguin Race Star. You only have to do the slip slide and away star, and then if you select Little Penguin Lost, Big Penguin Race will still be available to do if you go into the cabin. Which for some reason I'd always thought that you could only do Big Penguin Race if you had selected it as the 3rd star. But just interesting little tidbit. There are a lot of little changes that happen to the levels based on what star you've selected, and it's kind of a like specific process of how exactly the game decides what to show you. Like, unless you've actually completed the earlier stars, it doesn't spawn the later stage layout. So say you grab the last star in Wump's Fortress and then select it, King Wump will still be there unless you've actually completed Chip Off Wump's block. So now she's getting started on his own 100 coin slide down here, and this will be an important point to watch. If he does miss too many coins, he is going to be put in a world of hurt. But assuming he completes this successfully, which he should, he'll be in a very nice position to not lose a ton of time in SSL. But as you can see, Dwhatever is already going to be leaving here. Heading on over to Big Boo's Haunt. Or Benny's Brew House. whatever you want to call it. This stage is just gone in the blink of an eye. The only real concern here is falling off the roof during this star that Dwhatever is going to be doing right here. Nice side flip wall kick strat. Advancing very nicely to the top of the mansion. And the cam he's using here, if you have your cam set to Mario Cam C down when you enter the mansion, you get this really nice camera that follows you on the roof. You can't activate Mario Cam C down once you're inside the mansion. So you have to have it like perform before you even enter. And that's the only camera angle that does that on the roof. Anything else has that like weird zoomed out view that isn't beneficial at all. And she's going to be doing pretty much the same strat. Let's see what his King Boo fight looks like. Yeah, CCM17 is the faster of the two. It's only by a couple seconds. It's to the point that I believe it's like 2 to 3 if you're doing standard plus, but it's more if you're doing Tama plus, especially for both attempts. It really varies based upon exactly what form of plus you're doing. Oh, Dwhatever taking a bonk there instead of a normal dive. She's headed back into the mansion one last time. Nice speed side flip. All right, and Dwhatever's got Mips in his hands, about to be headed into SSL. So with this trick, you're going to see Dwhatever grab the bomb from an explosion, which will result in him holding a bigger than normal bomb that gives Mario backward speed since it intersects with his hitbox. And with that backward speed, he's going to be clipping into the top of the pyramid. Tama Plus coming out from Dwhatever, a really fast setup that is a little bit risky, but very nicely executed. That was just a perfect plus from Dwhatever to start this out. If anything is going to give you confidence in the second attempt working, it's going to be that. All right, so now Cheese picking up Mip's going to be headed to Pillarless himself. The really integral part of whether or not Plus is going to work in full is that part that you saw Dwhatever at, where you dive back into the bomb in that sand slope area. That's called the regrab. She's also going for Tama Plus and only having to do one attempt. Gets it very... Oh, he almost had it just fine, and he grabs the shiny top star, shining atop the pyramid. And so he has to redo Plus just from grabbing the wrong star. Oh, man. But this movement here is necessary. This right there, what she's did. By regrabbing the bomb like that, you extend the bomb timer and allow yourself to do other movement like ground pounding and such. That's really the core of what allows you to get to and clip through the pyramid. And the way that these players are doing the regrab is referred to as Tama Plus. You have a lot less control over where Mario is angled, specifically like getting him angled towards the pyramid. You have much less time to do it than with the standard plus setup, but it saves 2 seconds per attempt. So Dwhatever, of course, forming a really nice lead, just has to grab the star that she's grabbed by accident. Yeah, Cheese really didn't want to have to do Pillarless twice, but he did anyway, and he did pull it off. And so with all of that, Dwhatever now in a mild lead going into LLL. And this is a really integral stage too. There's easy ways to lose time across this whole stage. That jump dive strat for Reds that you see both of these players going for is a little bit finicky at times. And you can see that very plainly on Cheese's side. Going to be taking some extra burns since the puzzle is moving around and not really on the best of cycles if you lose some time. And now D will likely be headed into the volcano where we'll see either Lava Boost or Elevator Tour. Likely Lava Boost first, since you can use the ladder as a backup for it. Nope, we're going to be seeing Red Hot Log Rolling first. And that nicely spaced triple that D did allows him to do the rollout right over the gap there. And what really makes the time on this star is how fast you're doing that triple jump into the flight. If you have a lot of speed going into it, you're able to get like a high 11, low to mid 12. If you don't have a ton of speed, you're locking yourself into a 13. And now D is going to be headed into the volcano. Let's see what form of lava boost he decides to go with. I would not be that surprised to see either form. Let's see. Okay, long jump boost coming out, nice and conservative. He knows that this is very consistent, so not going to mess around with something that could potentially lose him more time. Cheese, though, I think... Okay, nope, long jump boost from him, too. Doesn't want to potentially lose time to pro boost failing. But Cheese is going to go ahead and go for that pro skip ending. So he's going to save a little bit of time due to something difficult, just not the boost itself. And now bully stars from D. He could also, if he wants to forge a little bit higher of a lead, he could skip the ledge grab on triple bully kill. But that will make the actual kill harder. Single bully, though, skipping the ledge grab, just normal routine execution on that star. All right, nice. Nice elevator tour from Cheese. As D goes in for his triple kill. Let's see if he goes for the ledge grab skip here. The triple bullies are an item that is actually on a consistent cycle from when you get remotely close to them. So skipping the ledge grab like D just did does make the cycle for getting the triple kill a little harder. And he did lose a little bit of time there, but overall a nice clean attempt at skipping the ledge grab and getting the triple kill. All right, so D has elevator tour left, Cheese with 3 bullies to kill. Really, really neck and neck still as we're moving into the final stages of the lobby and basement portion of the run. And when we're talking about upstairs performance, honestly, like that's really a big area where Dwhatever shines. He does some incredible stuff upstairs that few runners can even start to match. She's trying to get the triple bully kill, and the last bully barely deciding, you know what, I don't quite want to go in the lava today. So she's just going to stay a few seconds behind here, moving on into DDD. And get your swim trunks on, folks, and your goggles, the snorkel, maybe the scuba equipment if you'd like, if you're some scuba divers, potentially the members of an association or club. We're going to a water level. Post your favorite chill songs in chat in commemoration of Mewtwo King. All right. Both players with some nice swimming for the chest star here. The real point of issue that you might see with this star is the second and the fourth chest. The second is just kind of in a weird spot to grab with a very fast turn like these players go for. And the fourth, like, what makes you really get a good time on this star is being able to clip that last chest with a very quick setup and getting a lot of distance towards where the star is going to spawn at. And now we'll see some sub attempts here. I think we'll be seeing either a front sub from D and a rear from Cheese, or a rear from both. I don't really see Cheese going for front, but it could definitely happen. D's going to set up for front. And Cheese, it looks like he's navigating towards that left side of the tunnel. And he's got the cam for front. All right, let's see. And D does have front sub. And she's going to be going for it as well. The setup looks nice. And it's good. Nice. We all live in Bowser's submarine. Yep. And now the Manta Ray star, a very fun star that has no issues with its hit detection, and certainly has never killed a run of this commentator's. No way. No way that I've lost a run to just not swimming properly and want desperately to blame the game. I'm not hiding some sort of deep set pain at that fact. Nuh-uh. Of course not. Fire Sea coming out now from Dwhatever. With these types of players, honestly, it's a lot more so an issue of how deep will they get Fire Sea lava boost, rather than if they will get it or not. Let's see some elevator movement coming out now. She's just getting his start on the stage. Double wall kicks from Dwhatever. And that side flip pole grab does look good. Having to do a little bit of a turn adjustment, but he does get up there just fine with his triple. All right. Nicely done from D. A little bit of a shallow entrance on the platform, but it's a lava boost, and it still works just fine for this ending that he's trying to go for here. And Cheese gets a nice deep lava boost. So at least the cycle itself won't really be making a huge issue with these runners' times. All right, now going on into the throw, and we'll be advancing right into the upstairs portion of this run in just a moment. And Cheese, interestingly, in recent races has opted to go for different stars than Wet Dry 100 to start out with. I believe Dwhatever's been keeping it a lot more classic, I guess you could say, with Wet Dry 100 as a starting star. Seems to be the most traditional of the bunch there. All right, we just gotta enter the course again, exit real quick, insert a big old key, clip through a ceiling, and we'll be right in Spiderland. And it's kind of odd how whenever you're doing a 70 run, this feels like the beginning of a whole other run. Like you finally get past Fire Sea, and this really finally feels like where the game starts. And then your run just dies to bad Wet Dry World 100 RNG, but that's a story for another time. Nice double box break from Dwhatever to start out here. You don't tend to see the double too often. It's pretty well been found that it doesn't really save time unless you get a really good core box coin spawn. So, okay, Dwhatever with some kind of very odd route decision, skipping over the spider. I guess he just thought it was too far away for him, but it's going to be weird to have to make up. I guess he's thinking that the backup box on the end will waste less time than going for the spider there. And Cheese, as I mentioned earlier, not going to be starting with Wet Dry 100, instead finishing off the single stars real quick. So, interesting play from Dwhatever. I can't say you see this too often. She's going with these triple jumps here. A nice top of the town triple. As Dwhatever finishes off with a nice little long jump. Pretty optimal movement for this backup. So, I mean, you know, honestly, I support it. I feel like he probably lost less time doing this than trying to go for the spider. It's just kind of a weird spider position. She's getting his own start. Has to do a freehand double box break and does get it. He actually like managed to jump and kick on the very, very first frame when Mario entered the level. So it kept his angle set as Mario's entrance angle rather than what Cheese was holding, which would have been forward, like what Dwhatever got as his angle. And so because of that, when Cheese had his angle set wrong, he just had to turn Mario around and try to get a good camera angle and Mario angle again. Which, as long as you don't make the camera turn by like running in one particular direction for long enough, you'll pretty well be able to realign it well, but it is definitely more iffy than just getting the setup from the start like what Dwhatever had. So Dwhatever making some nice progress through the single stars. Interesting cam for top of the town there. You don't normally see people use that angle for that long jump. Nice triple jump, just pretty much matching Cheese's earlier attempt on this star. So not really gaining or losing any significant time. Cheese gaining a little time on 100 coin just from not having to get that backup box, but besides that, pretty comparable Wet Dry World from both players. Now coming up, Secrets in THI could present a little bit of a time issue. We'll see what happens between them. Dwhatever nearly ground pounding his way off the stage there would have lost a significant portion of his lead. but luckily able to just do a really quick jump and ground pound yet again in order to back that up. All right, DHI coming up. Get those Rock Chalk emos out. The only appropriate way to talk about this stage. Right, secrets coming out from Dwhatever. This third secret, as you can see, kind of a sticking point for a lot of runners. It's hard to get that movement the way that you want to. You want to keep your speed, but also end up like taking a jump in that little kind of cavern there. And you want to do all that with a very, very awkward camera angle just to reduce lag. It's just not a very intuitive movement at all. The only good thing is that you don't have to spend too long here. You just stay for 3 stars and then you're out. Right now, top of the island coming on out. All right, nice island clips from both players here. All right, now some piranha plucking action coming around. And then we're going to be going into one of the just really brutal stages that form just a huge roadblock to ending this run. TTM, Tall Tall Mountain. It may as well be a tip top of the castle stage. Like it has no right to be as hard as it is for where it's at in the castle and the route. And we'll see these runners take a crack at it with some log wall kick action, some, I'm assuming, just ridiculous reds, especially from Dwhatever, who I believe is still the single star record holder for that star. It's about to be a wild ride. But first, a quick little pit stop for Toad. And you actually grab Toad from this particular direction because, like, it takes time for him to become opaque so that you can talk to him from when he first loads up on camera. Oh, Dwhatever going to be starting out with Breezes here. Let's see how this is. No, actually, just going to be taking the breeze. No potential time loss of 2 seconds. Or okay, well, he is now losing time since he didn't actually make that jump. But honestly, a lot better than losing the time that missing that jump would have lost. Cheese getting started now with reds. Okay, speed kick rollout strat to get onto the mushrooms. And then a final rollout for the ending mushroom there. Very, very clean. The side flip wall kick strat for the ending there. As Dwhatever somehow gets like a really short rollout that manages to put him down a hole. And so he's going to have to restart reds. Ultimately, Cheese's reds saving a lot more time over what happened to D there. And that's, if that doesn't tie it up, it's not going to be that far behind for D now. So D getting some nice movement this attempt on reds. Gets a triple jump instead of a side flip there. Just hit A little bit too early for the turnaround to register. Now Cheese grabs the breeze star. Also just taking the breeze. No breezeless attempt here. Or he might have attempted it. I actually didn't see. And so Cheese is slightly ahead now. If you saw, they actually have the exact same stars in the stage. But if Dwhatever has anything to say about it before the stage is out, he's going to try to make up that lead. As you already saw, he was able to get like swim skip, sort of, you could say, as he was going up towards this star. Made up a lot of time on this star alone. So when they're doing their mountain clips, you'll see it again whenever they go in for the second clip. What you want to do optimally is just barely graze the lower body of water before you end up getting snapped up to the upper body. In this game, when you hit a body of water, the game will always just snap you to the top of the water and then calculate how far down to place you based on your speed. So as you saw here, D killed his speed by grazing that lower body of water. And so he was able to get up like with just a jump. He didn't have to swim up at all in the upper body that he was trying to clip up to. But Cheese, since he like dove directly to the upper body of water, the game put him down a bit further with his speed. So he had to swim to the top and then jump out. So now we've got a sync, in short. Due to D doing something a little more optimally, we've got a sync going on into the Mushroom Star here. And D trying to do a slightly faster strat here. And okay, D actually maintaining the sync, just barely behind Cheese by like a couple frames. This is going to be wild. Okay, headed on into Snowman's Land now. This is another intense stage. You may as well call this Speed Kick Land, because there's like one star in the stage that doesn't involve a speed kick. She's actually starting the very first star with a long jump instead. Dwhatever resisting the temptation to go for the penguin head side flip, instead just doing the standard same strat that Cheese did here. Losing a little bit of time, but still within a couple seconds, just neck and neck. And now, roll from the freezing pond coming out from both runners. The double speed kick strat here. Maintain a lot of speed, especially from that slide at the beginning. D not quite clearing the slope there, trying to dive in desperation, but has to go for this backup as Cheese does clear the slope and manages to grab the star. All right, now Cheese going on in for in the deep freeze. I kept wanting to say roll from the freezing pond. I was like, that's what they just grabbed. That's what they just grabbed. Deep freeze, though, fairly easy star, unless you try to go for like the double jump kick strat or something. And that Dwhatever trying to go for double jump kick, but ending up being denied, just not quite getting the height. Or I guess just not timing the kick exactly right. That strat is so precise that it's a little bit hard sometimes to determine exactly what happened, what went wrong. But it was no matter what, it was just a slight height issue. All right, now chill with the bully. Done on Cheese's side. Almost done for Dwhatever. Headed back on down to the basement for Hazy Maze Cave. Normally kind of a calm stage where you don't expect a lot to happen, but the nerves here are definitely ramped up to 11. The tension of this race generally is super high. I wouldn't be surprised if we see any kind of time loss to like the triple box jump. Of course, the boulder star can always cause issues. Watch for rolling rocks just from the RNG of the boulder patterns. There's a lot that can happen here, a lot at play. Cheese with a punch grab on Mips, though. No fear in his gameplay. Oh, Cheese showing a little bit of jump love to that corner. But he's about to be in the Hazy Cave himself. As D is just behind. All right, here we go. A fairly standard stage here. It's just the intricacies of the tricks is really what ends up holding things up. It's very, very easy to fail that triple, and especially to end up accidentally breaking the box, so you have to go for a backup star. And it's pretty much, if everything goes according to plan, it's a very easy breezy stage. But when something fails, backing it up can be a little awkward and finicky, and especially it can definitely lose some time. Right now, Cheese goes for this right side emergency exit strat. That's the fastest way of getting that star if you're able to perform it as optimally as Cheese just did there. If you have issues with like ledge grabbing the platform or something, though, it's better to just go with the left side strat. Easy, breezy, hazy. Maze Cave. Maybe it's Maze Cave. Alright, watch for rolling rocks coming out. A couple of the boulders a little bit too close for comfort on Cheese's side, but ultimately playing nicely. And now Dwhatever going to be going for the Christmas Miracle triple jump here. And taking a dive down here. The switch press is good, so... Maisie, it's Haze Cave. Yep. Yep, Steve. It's a nice Metalhead Mario star from Dwhatever. And it looks like she's also getting the switch press. Nice. All right, do whatever on his last star. She's done with HMC. Going to be headed on up to Tippy, the very top of the castle. And this is really the area where we're really talking about when we say that the race isn't over until it's truly over. The way that Rainbow Ride and TTC are constructed is just not conducive to mistakes. Other stages, you make a mistake, you're losing maybe a few seconds. You're probably not going to die though. With these stages, that guarantee is just completely lost. There is no real safety net. Rainbow Ride is just a bunch of platforms scattered throughout the sky. TTC is just a tube with a bunch of platforms inside of it and nothing else. So it's really just paramount, especially with the strats that you're doing here, which in many ways kind of mirror what you're doing in Womps, short trick stars with really precise jumps. Like it's no wonder that there's so much time lost so often. You see Cheese off to the races and Dwhatever right behind. She's starting off with the left side wall kick and side flip strat for Lakitu bounce here. Dwhatever, meanwhile, with the glitchy wall kick for the same strat, opening up just a little bit faster. So we've got Cheese finished off with the star. Dwhatever, nice double wall kicks there. And he's finished off as well. So Cheese going to be getting started with tricky triangles now. Doing this left side strat, you're able to get at the triangles faster, albeit that long jump is much, much more precise, but able to get it just fine. Cheese trying to go with some like fairly basic movement along these triangles, but just not quite working out. Dwhatever with reds. Oh, Dwhatever misses the 5 slide, having to just wait for Mario to dust his pants off and get ready to start moving again. All right, now Cheese going on over for swinging in the breeze, using the bottom side strat, not top side. Let's see if he's going for the ridiculous ending here. No, just a normal ending as well. Wants to keep things nice and comfy still. Surprisingly, that bonk on tricky triangles that Cheese got is a little bit hard to die from. Like, you would think that it'd be an easy death, but your momentum pretty well gets stopped by the first wall you hit. Now, Dwhatever with really, really nice movement throughout that star. Like, especially just knowing exactly where Mario was going to clip over the ledge there and able to do just a very, very nice reverse of momentum without even a side flip at all. It was just really, really clean execution. Dwhatever now going for the top side strat for swinging in the breeze. The ending that this makes possible is just ridiculous. There it is. Double jump over the flame shooter. As Cheese heads on in to TikTok clock, Dwhatever just behind him. And now we get started with probably, okay, Dwhatever likely getting started with one of the most difficult stars in the run. TTC 100. The big problem with TTC 100 is just how demanding it is and for how long it is. Like, it's only about a minute long, but it has the difficulty of many stars that are like 15 seconds or so in this run. So this blue coin switch press is one particular sticking point after the intro. If you get this wrong, you can easily take a reverse bonk that sends you right into the pit of doom. This triple jump wall kick here, failing this is also very, very costly. Getting this movement right without having to take an extra ledge grab that wastes a ton of time is fairly tricky as well. You have to get that double jump there in order to get enough height in order to like actually clear that platform. Nice movement, especially up those triangles with those jump dives. Dwhatever pulling off a really, really nice TTC 100. A little bit sketchy on the opener, but beyond that, he really found his footing and just like trampled that star, honestly. Mr. Doom, if you have to like wait an extra time for time to be stopped like that, it's about 3 seconds or so. All right, now Cheese getting started with his own TTC 100 here. Skips the ledge grab off the triple there. Now coming up on the switch press here. Dwhatever now with time moving stars coming out. Nice pendulum star. As Cheese lands that triple jump wall kick on that nub of the fence cage. Misses the wall kick there, almost falls off the ledge, but manages to stop himself. And backing up this jump, has to take a ledge grab again. He's mainly losing time to stuff like ledge grabs. He's not really doing anything super wrong, just the little mistakes causing ledge grabs are costing him a lot of time. All right, roll into the cage for Dwhatever. As Cheese finishes up his 100 coin. A nice ending from Cheese there. Taking the Thwomp cycle to his advantage. Dwhatever with another time-moving triple here. As he goes for Get a Hand. Like, that strat is just perfect for Get a Hand. There's an alternate strat if you're not confident in the time-moving triple jump wall kick. But in my opinion, that strat makes, like, the later half of the 3 stars you use it for a lot more difficult. It aligns you in a weird way for the triple jump that starts out the rest of those strats. And so, like, it makes everything harder, but in particular, Get a Hand. It even, like, adds an extra, like, slight RNG factor if you're not as precise with your movement. But that strat where you're using the triple jump wall kick at the start just aligned you so perfectly. 2 long jumps and you're just done. All right, now Cheese grabs Pendulum Star here. 68 stars, just 1 left on both sides. I believe it's reds on both sides here. Thanks for all the kind words, everyone. All right, nice triple jump to start out reds from D here. As Cheese gets a hand real quick. And with that, Cheese is going to have a very slight lead going on into bits. Just a few seconds, though. This is like insanely close. It's rare to catch one that's actually this close. So let's see how bits ends up going for these players. It's all going to come down to this stage. Bowser in the sky without reds this time, of course. We've already got all the stars we need, so red coins would just add unnecessary toughness. But there is still a lot of difficulty, in particular with how you have to end this stage. But let's see their movement going towards that point. She's giving himself a lot of room for this angled triple jump here. Dwhatever going to take it a little bit tighter on his turn, but both of them do land the triple dive just fine. Cheese with the speed kick across the gap there. D having to wait an extra little platform cycle. Not much time loss, but he's not able to go for the speed kick. Cheese going to be headed for moving right side triple here. And it comes out just fine. But no, it doesn't. What does he bonk on? Cheese bonking on something and potentially costing him the race. Dwhatever not able to clear the wall kick twice in a row, but he manages to back it up with the ledge grab. Gets up on his 3rd attempt there. And now he's finally going to be advancing up to the pipe. Cheese pretty well right behind him now, going for right side again. I think he just dove too early or something. Just a slight missed time there, costing Cheese the ability to get up on top that early. It's not quite over yet. D could miss a throw, and that could easily put the ball back in Cheese's court, but it's certainly on Dwhatever now, firmly in the driver's seat. 3 throws will plant him, and that's one of them. Cheese starting to fight himself. D's second throw, laser precision here. Cheese gets his first throw out, though. And D with that 3rd one, I believe is good. Turning the cam to, yep, that's good. And that's going to be the race for Dwhatever. What a finish. Just like 3 seconds apart leaving TTC. Cheese takes a fall after actually getting the wall kick for moving right side, just diving too early. D twice failing left side and having to back up with a ledge grab. Like that, you can't end this game any other way. GG's to both of our runners, and we're going to have them coming on into the call in just a moment for post-race interviews here. 48:09 and 48:17. In just about any other race, either of these would for sure be winning times, no question. But in this race, the 48:17 from Cheese is not quite enough. And speaking of, we've got Cheese in the call with us now. How are you feeling after that finish, man?
Hello? Oh, I don't hear
Hello.
anything. Hello? There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello.
What's up?
That was really my question to you. How are both of you feeling? Starting with Cheese first, I guess.
It's Pace 2019 all over again. Failing the triple jump and then losing.
And that was like a dive a little too early after getting the jump, right? Because I saw it looked like Mario was facing.
I didn't dive. I didn't do anything. Honestly, I have no idea what happened. I did exactly what I usually do. I didn't even dive or anything. I just didn't make it on top, and I fell down. I still don't know what happened.
And now, D, how many beats did your heart skip when you kept falling down from the triple jump wall kick, but you were able to keep getting the ledge grab to back it up?
My heart was just pounding really hard, really. I didn't skip any. Just more so sad about the beginning and mid game, honestly.
I want to know from you, D. I want to know. What were you feeling when you were like right behind me, all of Tippy?
I wish I didn't check the race at all. I would have played so much better, I think.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I was worrying more so what people might say about my gameplay other than just try to focus on playing. And that's just awful.
No, dude. I mean, I felt the same way in certain parts. Well, I made no big mistakes, but I made like a lot of small ones that were very dumb. But
I didn't see any of your mistakes. I just kept checking how far we are apart.
I didn't see yours either. I just know that your TTM was kind of rough.
I died on TTM Reds, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Of course you did. And of course you still got it like a low 48. But man, I'm very happy though. I'm very happy with how I played because I have not been doing too well. So I'm really happy I actually did well this time and I actually felt good. So I don't mind. I'm still confused about what happened at the end there, but
so you just messed up TG walking and that was it?
I don't even know how I failed it because I got the triple jump.
I was constantly thinking, this is it, like failing TG left side, G's won pretty much.
No, dude. Nah. You never know what happens.
What a race then. Wow.
That was just
GG's, dude.
There was really no other way for a race like this, and it was wild to see too. Like when y'all went upstairs, I think there was like a 4 or 5 second difference or so. And it was like when y'all left THI to go to TTM and started like on the Mountain Clip Stars, especially. Like D just started inching up time progressively. It was just an awesome race through and through. So many synced up points all the way like through Tippy. Like that was amazing to see. And like GG's to both of you. It was a really nice performance on both sides.
I think that was the most hype race I've ever done so far, apart from the Punkay finals at Pace, because we were just close the entire race. And I like when we were synced in TTM, and then you saw like it was just back and forth. So yeah, one of my favorite races ever.
I agree. I guess I'm still not too happy about my gameplay.
You did well.
Nah, you did really good too. I feel like you didn't deserve falling down at the end. That's
sad. I don't know. Maybe I let go of A and I didn't realize. I don't know. But oh well.
Still GG's.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the game just ends up being cruel. It just this is not a nice game, honestly, as I'm sure you can both attest to.
I mean, yeah. This game is not made for speedrunning, apart from like newer games that are made for speedrunning. So
like there are certain mistakes that when you let the game make you lose a bunch of time, it will. Like it won't really give you a lot of leeway with certain wall kick angles or like just certain other things. There are a lot of times you're having to like slide along a wall and you misangle that a little bit. The game's like, oh, you're bonking now.
Yeah. The game that's a very, very old game that was not really made for speedrunning. Random things happen and invis walls and all these things. It's something that speedrunners have to deal with. And yeah, I'm used to it. So
it's just part of the tech at the end of the day.
Yeah, it
Part,
is.
part of what makes part of the charm.
Steve
we're-
really
we're-
wants us to stop.
Yeah, we're being told for the back room, bye, go away. So we'll go ahead and leave y'all with a bit of an intermission going into the next race. We're switching up the schedule a little bit. We're gonna have the Dwhatever doubleheader, and so the next race instead will be Dwhatever versus Rock Chalk. Guy and I versus JJ will be right after. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with more Mario action in just a moment. And thanks again, guys, for an amazing race.
Thank you, Electric, for your amazing commentary, as usual.